Officially, Star Trek Lower Decks has been renewed for Season 5, a few months before Season 4 premieres on Paramount+. Along with a summer release timetable for the eagerly awaited Season 4, the streamer said that the adult animation season would receive a 10-episode order for its 5th season. Today we're going to discuss everything we know about Star Trek Lower Decks Season 5. The most humorous series on Star Trek is called Lower Decks, and it was created by Emmy Award winner Mike McMahon, Rick and Morty, and Solar Opposites. The show centers on the crew of the USS Cerritos, a group of ensigns assigned to some of the lowest-paying jobs Starfleet has to offer. Despite this, the crew gets up to some of the most outrageous exploits the Federation has ever seen. Because of its cartoon style and mature target demographic, Lower Decks has been able to push the franchise in a direction that none of its previous series have been able to. As they try to fulfill their duties, Ensigns Mariner, Boimler, Tendi, Rutherford, and Provisional Ensign T'Lyn, a newcomer after the Season 3 finale, are going to encounter both old and new aliens on their upcoming adventures. The announcement that the Lower Deckers would be visiting the Enterprise during the SDCC came despite the fact that we still don't know much about the plot of Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4. Newsom and Quaid joined Anson Mount on stage during the Star Trek Universe panel at the convention to reveal that Season 2 of Strange New Worlds will include a crossover episode between the two shows. Given that the two programs are set at separate times in the Star Trek timeline, it's anyone's guess as to how the two will clash. But we do know that the episode will have animated versions of the Strange New Worlds characters alongside Newsom, Quaid, and the other Lower Deckers playing themselves. Now we can sneak peek into the upcoming crossover between Star Trek Lower Decks and Star Trek Strange New Worlds, set to take place in the second season of the latter show. This crossover will see Ensigns Beckett, Mariner, and Bradward Boimler make the transition from animation to live action for a single episode. It's worth noting that Boimler's name is indeed Bradward. While there's still a lot of mystery surrounding how these ensigns from a different era will end up with Captain Pike and his crew, it's safe to assume that some amusing adventures will unfold. As we await the second season of Strange New Worlds, Jack Quaid, the actor behind Boimler, couldn't spill too many details, but did provide some insights and teased a special episode in the upcoming season of Lower Decks. We do know, however, that Quaid was allowed to wear the uniform. He talked about what it was like to finally put on the iconic Starfleet outfit. Additionally, Quaid hinted at a potential relationship between his Spock and Ethan Peck's Spock. I have a bromance for eternity with Ethan Peck. We refer to it as Spoimler, Spock plus Boimler. It's incredible, but the entire cast is really cool, amiable, and welcome. Jonathan Frakes got to be our director, and we had a great time. What could be more ideal, he declared. Apart from the information on the renewal and release window of Lower Decks, Paramount Plus also revealed that Strange New Worlds has been renewed for a third season, with the second season premiering on streaming services on June 15. Season 2 of Prodigy, the animated spin-off of Star Trek, which centers on a motley crew of extraterrestrial children under the holographic supervision of Captain Janeway, H. Mulgrew, has a winter release window. Even though Season 5 of Star Trek Discovery will be the show's finale, there are still a few episodes to look forward to when the show returns in early 2024. For Michael Burnham and colleagues, the end is near. The fifth and final season of Paramount Plus's flagship original series, Star Trek Discovery, is scheduled to debut in 2024, though it leaves a number of other Star Trek shows in its wake. The series, which has been airing since the streamer was still known as CBS All Access, will be the last from that era of the site to complete its run. It's bittersweet to see Discovery come to a close because it helped to usher in a new age of Star Trek. Chief Programming Officer at Paramount Streaming, Tanya Giles, stated, "Star Trek Discovery is a perennial favorite on the service, near and dear to the hearts of legions of Star Trek fans, as well as all of us here at Paramount Plus," she went on. As the first of 5 episodes presently running on Paramount Plus, Discovery launched the current Star Trek Resurgence. The show centers on Michael Burnham, who is currently serving as captain, and the crew of the Discovery, a vessel that at the conclusion of its second season has bravely ventured farther into the future than any other in Starfleet history. More than 900 years. In response to the announcement that Season 5 would mark the conclusion of Star Trek Discovery, Sonequa Martin Green expressed her deep gratitude, saying, "I consider myself incredibly fortunate to have portrayed Captain Michael Burnham and to have been a part of this remarkable legacy alongside an exceptional cast, an outstanding crew, and a remarkable group of writers." She went on to say, "Our fans embraced us as we introduced a new chapter in the Trek universe and a brand new entertainment platform, and that's something we'll always cherish. With 65 episodes behind us, let's raise a toast to the entire team of Star Trek Discovery, to the show itself, and its upcoming 5th and final season, to its dedicated fan base, and to everyone who envisions a brighter future. Together, let's soar." We know that Season 5 of Discovery will follow Michael and her team on yet another adventurous expedition, even though the majority of the plot elements are still being kept under wraps. The greatest treasure in the known galaxy is out there. What are you waiting for? David Cronenberg's Dr. Kovich said in a teaser trailer unveiled at NYCC 2022, setting up a treasure hunt at the center of the upcoming season. According to Doug Jones, who spoke with Collider, change is always afoot for the story and for the characters individually, and Saru is included in that. There may be more romance between Saru and Vulcan President Terina. Will my romance with President Terina, my lovely Vulcan lady, still continue? Was my main worry leading into Season 5. The response pleased me to hear. Blue Del Barrio, Wilson Cruz, Mary Wiseman, Anthony Rapp, David Ajala are among the stars of Discovery, in addition to Martin Green, Jones and Cronenberg. Finally resolved was a contentious plot from Star Trek The Next Generation in Star Trek Lower Decks. The recently appointed Lieutenant Junior Grade was stuck in a cave after an away mission went awry in Lower Decks Season 4, Episode 8. Each of the major characters shared a story from a recent cave-related adventure they had been involved in to pass the time, as they looked for a route out. Lieutenant Steve Levy, Tred Tasticor, and Bradward Boimler, Jack Quaid, began the story sharing by recounting their experience with a rare species from Star Trek. Levy and Boimler got trapped in a cave after an ion storm while on a trip to Chiron 4. While they were looking for a way out, Levy, a well-known conspiracy theorist, irritated Boimler by discussing a number of outrageous Star Trek conspiracy theories. But when Kirk and Boimler were assaulted by the Vendorians, a shape-shifting extraterrestrial race first shown in Star Trek the Animated Series, one of his beliefs turned out to be accurate. Levy charmed the Vendorians into not attacking them, much to Boimler's chagrin, by relating more of his many conspiracies, one of which turned out to be a rerun of a contentious Star Trek episode. Levy brought up the theory that the Vendorians had planted false information regarding Star Trek's warp speed hurting subspace during their encounter with them. This theory was first presented in Force of Nature Episode 9 of Season 7 and has since generated controversy. Two extraterrestrial scientists made an effort to persuade Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, and the USS Enterprise D crew that sustained warp travel was causing irreversible damage to subspace throughout the episode. By the end of the episode, Picard's skepticism about the scientist's veracity was dispelled, and the Federation decided to limit travel at warp speed 5 or faster in order to solve the problem. Nevertheless, the franchise hasn't done a good job of preserving the concept of a warp speed limit or determining whether the ban is still in place since Star Trek The Next Generation Season 7. This has led to multiple story holes in other Starfleet shows, as other ships have been repeatedly shown exceeding the warp speed limit without any justification. Luckily, Levy's suggestion that warp speed hurting subspace was just a Vendorian plot was the last action taken by Lower Decks to finally put an end to the matter. Levy casting doubt on the accuracy of the claim helps to explain why other Star Trek series have not implemented the Warp 5 prohibition. That's all about today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also press the bell icon to get notified of our upcoming videos. Let us know your opinion in the comment section below.